Now, Marie wrote a whole book concerning a video where I talked about the fact that the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he never existed. I said it as part of the video. I don't think that was the main thing in that video. And in her book that she wrote, she expressed that, well, that is the greatest trick the devil ever pulled, because why would the devil ever want you to believe in God? And the devil would want to come down and, oh, it was in the video where I said that if you believe in Jesus, then you need to believe in Odin, because Tacitus wrote about Odin as well. So she was saying that the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was also that he came and made you think and believe in people like Odin and Marduk and Ra and Enlil and Enki and all these other deities that people believe in, and that he wants to keep you from the truth, and he's this shadow figure that wants to destroy you and all these sorts of things. But there is a flaw in your logic when you're talking to someone who have deconstructed from your religion, and hopefully I will break that down in a way that it is clear and you can understand it. You see, in order for your message, your thought process to work, then you would have to believe that a God exists in the same framework that the devil exists. Meaning that I would have to believe that your God exists in order for me to believe that your devil exists. But because I believe your God is a fictitious character, then ipso facto, that makes your devil a fictitious character as well. You see, a person who does not believe in your God would not also believe in your devil. That makes no sense. Why would we believe in your devil if there is no belief in your God? Because if we did believe in your God, but did not believe in your devil, then our mindset would be that everyone gains salvation, because there would be no hell. There would be none of those things to go to. But because we don't believe in your God, then there is no counterpoint of a devil. So there is no fading of the mind that the devil came as Odin or Wotan or Wotaz, or the devil came as Marduk or Ra or Seth or Anubis or any of these other deities, because we don't believe that those deities exist either, in the same way we don't believe that your God exists. So therefore your philosophy is flawed in thinking that your devil is tricking us because we don't believe in your God either. Am I clear on that? Do you understand how that works when you critically think through the whole process? So what do people like myself accept? People like myself accept the fact that if there is a creative being, that creative being has never shown itself or demonstrated itself to exist in the framework that your God claims he has existed. You see, your God claims that he has existed, and he has shown himself as proof to people, like shown himself to Jacob, shown himself to Isaac and Abraham, shown himself to Moses, shown himself to Judas in the guise of Jesus and all the other apostles. But yet, if you think about what free will is, free will would be the belief in your God and then having the choice of following and obeying and worshiping this God. But when you don't believe this God exists, then there is no free will choice, because there is no God to decide that you're going to walk away from or not believe. Let me put it in ways that you may understand it a little bit better. Since a person like you would probably say that Allah does not exist, or that Odin does not exist, then your framework would say that what the heaven of Allah does not exist, because that God doesn't exist. That Valhalla doesn't exist because Odin doesn't exist. And if Odin and Valhalla doesn't exist, then Hela and hell doesn't exist. The Islamic hell then would not exist either. So therefore, it's a wash because for you when it comes to those gods, because none of them exist anyway. Now, the way that you soothe your mind and your belief is to say that the devil came as Odin of beings. That is just pure cognitive dissonance and confirmation bias at work in order for you to believe your God existed and that the devil has this power to be able to trick people into believing these other gods existed so that people will choose not to follow your God. But the problem with that is that the people of the Germania, the people of the Norse, the people who first start believing in Ra and Osiris and Isis and Seth and Anubis and all these other gods had never heard of your God. So if a person never heard of your God, then how can they ever have the free will to walk away from your God if your God was always non-existent to them? For those who lived in the Americas, they never heard of your God. So how can they have the free will to walk away from your God or even know that this deity that they are believing in is the devil of your God if they've never heard of your God, and therefore would not be able to make a decision, a free will decision, to be able to worship your God because your God never existed to them in the first place. That might be hard for you to understand, and I'm pretty sure you're going to come back with some other apologetic mindset, but that's okay. Just always know that people like me don't believe in your God. And since we don't believe in your God, we don't believe in your devil. The only God and devil that we believe in is the God portion of your brain and the devil part of your brain. That is all within you. And as the old African saying says, if there is no devil within that can harm you, if there is no devil within, then there is no devil without that can harm you. Because at the end of the day, it's just you being your own God and being your own devil. And until your God shows up, I'm in Boston tonight, getting ready to watch my Hawks beat the shit out these Celtics. If your God is real, Angelina's a Celtics fan. Talk some bullshit. If your God is real, come on. Come have a sit down with me. The same way you did with Moses. Come on and let's have a meal together and I'll wash your feet the same way you did with Abraham. Come on and meet me at the gym so we can tussle the same way you did with Jacob. If you want me to believe your God, you got to prove that dude exists, or that guy really needs to prove himself exists. And since he doesn't, and since he hasn't, always remember you got to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.